What's up, Jacob here. Today's video is about my favorite lures that you can get from Walmart for saltwater fishing. Now, some of these I use kind of interchangeably between fresh and saltwater, so I will talk about the ones that I do use for freshwater as well as saltwater. I think there's honestly a ton of great lures that you can get from Walmart. I think especially when I was learning fishing, probably 95% of my tackle I got straight from Walmart, nowhere else. And I caught a lot of good fish on these lures. So I'm gonna go ahead and head to Walmart, get some lures. I'm gonna film inside Walmart or not really talk too much, come back here and then stand and talk to you guys about each lure and what fish I use them for, and just share what I love to buy from Walmart. So maybe you guys can go to Walmart and get some of these lures yourselves and catch some fish. All right, we're gonna grab ourselves some DOA white flukes. Also these Berkeley power bait. I think they're called, jerk shad. So these Berkeley power bait jerk shad flukes. DOA root beer chartreuse paddle tails. You can go either way with this one. There's the top knock pencil and also the skitterwalk. I'm gonna grab a skitterwalk in white because I already have a top knock pencil at home. As far as hard body jerk baits, the Husky jerk is my favorite. You can't really go wrong with the X-Wrap, but I just like the Husky jerk. I have some of these white ones at home, which is my favorite. So I'm actually gonna grab this bass collared one for freshwater right now, just because I already have plenty of these at home and I want that one for freshwater fishing. Staple right here. Mirrolure Mirrodine. Now when it comes to shrimp, I like the gulp and I also like the DOA shrimp over here. The reason I'm gonna go with the gulp is because this is gonna be my lure that I'm getting for black drum, and they are more scent heavy when it comes to their hunting, so this adds some scent to it. As far as line goes, you can't really go wrong with the Power Pro. I always go moss green other than the high vis yellow. So moss green, Power Pro right there. Now this is actually kind of new. My Walmart now has Seeger. I don't think that a lot of Walmarts are gonna have that. I think, I don't see much of it, but the Berkeley Vanish I like, and also the Yozuri, so you can't really go wrong with any as long as it's fluorocarbon leader. But if you for some reason do have the Seeger, I would grab that. For hooks, we got those DOA jig heads down here. Typically they have more different weights. I typically go with 1/8 ounce, not this 1/4 here. This is 1/8, but I don't really like the yellow. I typically go the red or the gray or black jig heads. The striking ones don't look bad either, so if they don't have the DOA, Strike King as well. So over here we got these EWG worm hooks from Eagle Claw you can use for the flukes. I have a bunch of those at home, so I'm not gonna get them right now. And actually a sleeper over here for fishing for black drum is these little Ned bugs from Strike King. That will probably be at the bottom in a box. I know that's how it is at my Walmart. Find a color you like, which this color is honestly not bad. I've caught numerous black drum on these. Okay, I think that about does it. I'm not gonna buy everything I just showed you because I have a lot of this at home and I'm broke because I don't want to spend all my money on this stuff. I'm gonna do one last look around to make sure there's nothing I'm missing. We're gonna head home and I will explain to you what I use all these different lures for and why I like them so much. All right, I am back from Walmart. I didn't buy every single lure, like I said, from Walmart because I had a ton here and I didn't want to spend a ton of money. So we're gonna go ahead and just dive right into it. We're gonna start with all the soft plastics I got and then get on to the hard baits. So first I'm gonna start with one that I think is a staple for freshwater or saltwater fishing, these DOA flukes, and specifically white flukes. Now, for me personally, the two fish that I think these are best for are one, tarpon. Like I think this is the best tarpon bait that you can buy, and they have it at Walmart. And even anywhere else, not even just at Walmart, I think this is the best tarpon lure that you can buy right there. It also does work for snook. I really like these for snook as well. I've caught really, really nice snook on this exact lure. And the way I like to rig it for snook and trout is on an EWG wire hook. And I'll go ahead and pick this one up because it is similar to this one. This is a Berkeley power bait. I think they call it a jerk shad. And this has been my favorite fluke other than this one. Now this one I love throwing for snook and redfish. I think this fluke is great, and same way that you would rig these up, you can rig it up weightless. Actually, the way I like to rig these, and this is one hook that you can't always get at Walmart. I know some Walmarts have it, some don't. Mine was actually out when I was there buying these, is I like to rig these up on one of those twist lock, I think they're by Owner, an Owner twist lock hook. so I can run this a little bit weighted, more weighted than when I run these. But I have caught 30 to 40 inch snook on this. I've caught 30 to 40 inch snook on this. I think these are great lures for snook, tarpon, redfish, especially these ones for snook and redfish, these ones for snook and tarpon. I think you can't really go wrong with Flukes. They are my favorite bait to throw. If I have a gun to my head and they say, hey, you have to go catch a snook, tarpon, or redfish, I'm throwing one of these lures, and you can get both of these at Walmart. Now, another staple for saltwater fishing is the paddle tail. Now, because I got white in the Fluke, I got the root beer chartreuse in the paddle tail. And this is great for dirtier water where it's like murkier, dirtier. This root beer chartreuse is a freaking killer and a staple for any of the freshwater fish, tarpon, redfish, trout, snook. This lure works great. Now you can also get these in white for the same type of fishing, just for clear water if you want. They have white, or they have the root beer chartreuse at Walmart. I know some Walmarts, like I said, have different lures, but I'm pretty sure you can find these and the white at any Walmart that you're fishing, especially in Florida. I'm in Florida, so that's where a lot of I'm basing this off of is Walmarts in Florida. So that is that. The way I like to rig these up is, once again, on those owner twist lock hooks. I love, because if you're throwing these at mangroves, under mangroves, or in grassy areas, it is really nice to be able to rig these things up weedless. They're also great to just buy those DOA jig heads that you can get from Walmart as well, which is great. Now, as far as shrimp goes, you can't really go wrong with gulp shrimp. My one beef with these things is, if you're gonna sit it there for a little bit, with these you have a higher chance of catching catfish than you do if you were to grab the DOA shrimp that they sell at Walmart, or the voodoo shrimp, or any of those shrimp that don't have such a crazy scent that these do. The reason I like these is because those other lures I just showed, while they're great for tarpon, trout, redfish, snook, I have much better luck on gulp shrimp for black drum. This is what I would always have on me, other than those lures right there, for black drum. Black drum sort of use more scent, and redfish as well. These are great for redfish too. They kind of hunt with a little more scent. They attach that scent a little bit more. So those gulp shrimp, those are great for fishing for black drum. Now, on the topic of black drum, this is actually kind of a sneaky staple for me personally that I love fishing for black drum. This is the Strike King Rage Ned Bug. And it's just a Ned rig for bass fishing, but it actually works great fishing for black drum. It sort of imitates like a crab or shrimp or anything down there, and kind of just sticks up, and those little tails just kind of give a lot of great action. And I just really like this lure for black drum. Now, the hook it comes with is pretty weak, and so when I do fish these, I fish with a really, really light drag, so those fish don't bend out that hook. Now, this is one lure I'm just gonna touch on real quick. I know it doesn't really have to do with the video because you can't really get these at Walmart, but my go-to shrimp, this is the one lure I would sort of suggest you guys get, if you can, away from Walmart. I love these Z-Man shrimp, and I love putting them literally just on jig heads. I just take any jig head, put these things on there, and these are easily my go-to shrimp. The gulp shrimp break very easily. These things last a long time, and I just really like these. Now, I typically go to this colorway, New Penny, on anything. They have New Penny and gulp. They have New Penny in these Z-Mans. New Penny is my favorite color when it comes to shrimp. I forgot I had them. So these are those owner twist locks hook I were talking about earlier. They just have a little weight there, and you can twist them onto those baits, and it makes it really easy to kind of switch those baits and to have some weight on there as well to make them weedless at the same time. All right, moving on to these hard baits. Now, this is a staple that I know a lot of people know about. This is the Mirrolure Mirrodine. This is sort of my go-to lure if I'm fishing for trout. Now, these things are honestly great for redfish, snook, and tarpon as well, but I mainly use these if I want to go target trout. This is an amazing lure, makes a nice rattle, good flash. This is just an incredible lure for really nice trout, and you can't really beat the Mirrodine as far as a suspending twitch bait in saltwater, especially if you're getting it from Walmart. Now, a similar lure is, so this is the white version of this Husky Jerk. I bought this one just now because I wanted one for bass fishing, so I got the bass color, but this is the white version of that Husky Jerk, and honestly, for the same purposes that I would use that Mirrodine, I would use this. The only reason I typically don't fish with that Husky Jerk in saltwater is those hooks are a little weaker. So that is actually like my go-to lure when it comes to bass fishing. If I'm fishing an area where I can fish treble hooks, I can fish something that's 2 to 4 feet deep, I'm gonna use that Husky Jerk. That is my favorite lure for bass fishing by far. I think that thing kills the bass, and it also works in saltwater as well. Now, a little bit stronger hooks that has a similar application as that Husky Jerk is the X-Wrap. This is a great lure. It works very similar to the Husky Jerk. The Husky Jerk has a little bit quicker stops than the X-Wrap, but they work pretty much similar. I've caught some nice snook on this X-Wrap. I've hooked up some really nice trout. I think this is a great lure that you can get from Walmart as well. Now, as far as topwaters, and this is going to be the last lures I talk about, you can get skitter walkers as well as top knot pencils from Walmart. Now, I don't really have a preference on either one. I think they both work great. They both have great colors that you can get. I really like this white color, and I also really like this color of the top knot pencil. I think these are both great topwaters that you can get straight from Walmart. They work incredible early morning for any saltwater fish. I think the only fish I haven't caught on a topwater is a black drum, which I've heard of people doing it before, but it's a little more rare. These are great for trout, redfish, tarpon, snook early in the morning, especially in the areas that I fish. So it's always great to have a topwater. But yeah, that does it for all of my favorite lures that you can get straight from Walmart. Now I know, like I said earlier, it depends on where you live, your Walmart. I know I have a Walmart that's closer to me that doesn't have as good of tackle as a Walmart that is 10 extra minute drive. So you just kind of got to search around, find that Walmart that has great tackle for you. Once again, I'm based in Florida, so this is all dependent on where you're based as well. I know a lot of Florida Walmarts have a lot more saltwater lures, and some have different things in stock that other Walmarts don't. I know it's typically all about the same, but I know there's a few Walmarts that have a little bit more tackle than others. If I had to pick 2 favorites, I would go with the white fluke and the Mirrolure. I think if I could only throw 2 lures, I think these would be the 2 that I would pick up to throw. I mean, I would throw, this is easily my favorite. I think a white fluke is easily the best bait you can get. You can get it straight from Walmart. Just get those EWG wire hooks, rig those things up, and you can slay some fish with those things. You find some fish, there's a good chance those things are gonna catch them. When I was at Walmart, I also mentioned the Power Pro line. As far as all the braid that you can get there, don't get anything but Power Pro. I don't like any of the other braid. I haven't tried the Daiwa J braid. I don't know if that's bad, but don't get spider wire. Get the Power Pro, pay the little bit extra money for Power Pro. It's worth it, trust me. As far as hooks, jig heads goes, I mean, that's all preference when it comes to the end of the day. I do like the DOA jig heads. I like the EWG wire hooks. If you can find those owner twist lock hooks, they're great. If you can find any twist lock hook at your Walmart, they're great. You don't really have to buy really high-end tackle to catch fish. A lot of these lures are the lures that I still use even when I go to more expensive tackle shops. I'll still look for these same lures. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, hit that subscribe button. Like the video, comment, all that fun stuff. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.